Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my modded Minecraft on my modded Minecraft server. And as you can see, I've done a little bit of work in between episodes, and I also made a handy dandy tape measure because we kind of need one for this. Today, I thought what we could do is start laying out the whole reactor setup that I planned on building here. And the reactor itself is going to go here in the middle. And then power storage over there and power storage over there. The sides with what we will be using for the power storage, which I don't think I've actually said yet. And I think I'll keep you guys waiting until after I get the necessary resources for that. To at least introduce what we're going to be using for that. Evil! Anywho, this one's going to be the reactor area. Let's see, 27, 28, 29, 30. Right there. That's the middle. And so we're going to center the reactor itself perfectly in the middle here. Let's see now, 20, 24, 27, 29, right there. So the reactor itself is going to go there. And from testing, I know that a 9x9 reactor is the size we need, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, it would be there and there, maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't seem big enough. This is why we have our tape measure, just to verify. Yeah, that is. Okay. And same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And verify that that is correct. Oops. And there we go. So, lay this out, first and foremost. I find netherrack makes a great block for this purpose too. And then I know that the turbines are 7x7x15. This will be 9x9x40. So it's going to be pretty big. Let's see, a gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm not sure if I want to do it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. Yeah, that'll be fine. Right there. And then I believe by coming in 1, we'll be able to line this up perfectly. So, like right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Because the one in my test world, it's not actually centered correctly, unfortunately. I might not have enough netherrack. And then I want, unlike the one in the test world, I really want this one to be centered and everything actually lined up correctly. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then was it 7 there? Yeah. Verify. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't have enough netherrack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because that would be the 7th. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that would be the 7th there. Like so. And then I had a gap of 1 in between them. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Getting this to line up correctly is going to be the hardest part. I think that right there is why I had them, because that touches, and we can't have it touch. So maybe if I pull them both back by one, I wonder if that would help. Let's see. Other great thing about using netherrack is your scaffolding and template blocks insta-mine. And of course, we gotta do the same thing over here, which should give us a gap of 8 in between. 8 blocks in between, which lets us have a little ring of actual terrain around this, and then our 6 blocks of the water feed. Right there, and one there. As netherrack stripe like so, which will give us a nice little gap there, which is what we want. Like so. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and again. And then one goes right there. Perfect. Unfortunately, I'm still finding that. Now, because it's supposed to be 24 of these turbines, we have to keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On both corners, it's going to have to look a little bit like this. And then one over this way, just like that. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. About like so. And yes, this is actually the correct dimensions for the turbines. When you're using Ludicrit blocks, the best sizing for it is 7 by 7 by 17. And if you lay them out the other way, the max you can get is 16. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So since we can't do it that way, $8 in between, if I remember correctly, and 8 blocks. Good. We're doing well here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's 8. I want 7, not 8. Like so, and then this should line up perfectly. And we're out of scaffolding blocks here, but this should give you the general idea. I think I'm going to cut here, and I'll bring you guys back in when I have everything all laid out. And we're back. And this is the idea behind what I was saying earlier. This is why the pads need to be so big and flat to fit it all in. I do have a bit of an idea on how I want the building around it to look, but basically the reactor room and all the turbines go here. We got power storage there and there. And then back here, I call it the control room, or the control center. Basically, it's where all of the applied energistics stuff goes, all the ore processing, auto crafting, and things of that nature go here. And overall, I guess you could say it'll be the main central hub of what will eventually be my total. Well, this part's not really my base per se. It is, but it isn't. But then I was also thinking about maybe building some houses and whatnot later on in other locations. At the moment, I really don't have a need for a tree farm because what I'm working with here doesn't require a ton of wood. I mean, there's some wood required, but overall, I think if I remember correctly, for the crafting recipe for the fluid ports, you need buckets, I think. Hold on. Let's look this up. A reactor, because that's how we look it up. Yeah, bucket. All the wood we need is for pistons. That's pretty much it. But I do know that we're gonna need some more machinery for auto crafting, because we do need tesseracts to do this correctly. I know you can technically use transfer nodes, but for transferring the amount of fluid that we're going to be shuffling back and forth, the only part that I'm going to be using the transfer nodes for is for our water input. And then there's 2 water inputs on each side, except for the one that ends up with the controller. Although I think I might tweak it from the design in the testing world a little bit. About 11 minutes. I don't think we really need to go any further, but yeah, I do hope you enjoyed this. I know it's not the most interesting thing in the world. The hardest part about doing something like this is actually getting it everything crafted. Because of the way I designed this mod pack, it relies largely on quarries. In the previous season, my goal was to do a little bit of caving and no actual branch mining. This season, one of the things that I had in mind was to not do any quarrying in the overworld. And then the other part is that I actually haven't really done any caving except for up by the over by spawn. I did a little bit of spelunking. All the other resources that I've gathered have been either through the quarry world, which I have a quarry going in right now, and also the roguelikes, as the second episode of this season should say. On the to-do list, of course, is to do some terrascaping, or whatever you want to call it, landscaping, because I don't really want to keep these as just being giant flat blocks of grass permanently. Once I get the other structures started, get the areas all set up the way I want them, I plan to actually, especially these side ones, we're going to be pulling off a lot of the dirt off of it. And so, yeah, try and turn it back into more swamp. I picked to go here because the reason why I thought this would be a good area to do our little power supply area is because the ground underneath the water is a lot higher to the surface. I could have done all this out in the deep ocean too, but then you have to either pillar up from the bottom or have angel blocks, and I don't have any angel blocks at the moment. I'm not even sure if I have enough feathers to do an angel block. Let's see, nope. Yeah, I have no feathers. So even if I wanted to, I couldn't do an angel block at the moment. Nope. No feathers. No feathers in there. And nope. No feathers. In between episodes, in addition to getting these areas prepped, I did also go ahead and move everything. And it's sort of organized, but that's mostly for while I'm getting stuff constructed. Eventually, there will be a gigantic applied energistics system. And Extra Cells 2 is in this pack, so yeah, let's get extra. Well, I don't need to put that. How about storage? Because that shows up. And I plan to fill it with these. Unlike last season in that world, this time I was actually thinking that it would probably be a good idea for us to go ahead and put that in there. No. How about there? Does it go there? No. Okay. Anyways, I thought it would be a good idea to, instead of just having one of each press going in an inscriber, have multiple. That way things will craft a little faster. Come on, son. Hurry up. I need you to go down so that I can have a quick sleep so that I can go ahead and do the outro. There we go. But one of the problems that I had with filling the system, more so than not having enough resources, is it takes a while to craft everything, and if I only have one of an inscriber doing each type of item, there's an empty chest right here somewhere. It makes it take so much longer. And so, come on, fly. And so this season we're going to try and do things a little bit better, a little bit bigger, a little bit better than last season. And I do hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then do make sure to subscribe, because there will be more episodes in the future of this. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.